No, it was yeah, it was really extraordinary. I mean, the situation, the circumstance was once in a lifetime, I think. An example, I probably told you this before, but I'll waste your time if you don't mind.
No, go ahead, please.
Uh, Alan and I did a scene in the in Colonel's the outer office, Radar's office would have been, or Klinger's, I'm not sure at that point. And it was a show where Blythe Danner was the guest star, and she played a character that Hawkeye had an affair with in medical school, and then they had this separation, and she got married, and suddenly she was in the army, and she came to the compound as temporary duty, and immediately the affair struck up again. And we were standing, he and I were in the colonel's the Addy room to the colonel's office, and he said, I haven't been around lately. And I said, I've been crying in my pillow. And he said, do you disapprove? I said, not my place to disapprove. He said, have you ever been unfaithful? It worked up to that. Have you ever been unfaithful? I said, no, never. And he said, have you ever been tempted? I said, tempted's a different question. He said, aha, so you have been tempted. And I said, no, I didn't say I had been. I said, it's a different question. Right. And it was a nice gag, you know, and the scene went well. And we ended, the scene ended there, and we went out, and Larry Gelbart, who had written the scene, was there. And he said, nice job. You know, I love the way that worked. And I said, I tell you what, that's great. But if we present BJ Honeycutt as a man who is never tempted, I don't think that's human. And he said, huh. And a year later, Gene came up to me and he said, you remember that conversation you had with Larry? And I said, and he said, about being tempted. I said, yeah, I do. And he said, what would you think if BJ fell off the Fidelity wagon?